obviously going to be changing.
Working to clear roads as winter weather rages on.
Even if we just came through there, it's going to be coming down more behind us.
News 4 has live team coverage monitoring the conditions.
Homeowners also working hard in the bitter cold.
Don't be overconfident. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your house.
We're watching out for you and your home.
The winter weather also impacting COVID-19 vaccine efforts.
They just said, hey, because of the weather, we're canceling.
Some hospitals stopping for the day, but one hospital system rolls on.
Live from the KMOV Broadcast Center in downtown St. Louis. News 4 is in storm mode.
Off the top at 5 inches of snowfall on top of record-breaking low temperatures.
You're taking a live look at Powerhouse Storm Mode Silverado as we monitor snow-covered roads and SkyTracker Doppler radar as snow continues to fall. Hope you're staying warm wherever you are. Thanks for joining us. I'm Corey Starr.
And I'm Samantha Jones. News 4 has live team coverage all across the metro tonight, tracking the impact this winter weather is having on the roads as well as on your homes. First, we start with Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton in the Fort Warren Storm Center.
The snow is not done yet. A couple more hours. I think after about 7 o'clock, we'll start to see things really taper off, but it's actually intensified in some places. So let's get right to SkyTracker Doppler radar and show you what's going on. That bright white represents more moderate snowfall, and it's really starting to fill in right across the St. Louis metro, kind of the heart of our coverage area. Not only that, this whole entire area being more light to moderate snow, there's some blues in there. And that blue on our radar represents a little burst of heavier snow, so Jersey County near Jerseyville, just west of Alton right now, but it looks like it stretches down to around St. Charles, Maryland Heights. In fact, there's the view from Alton Memorial Hospital in Alton with the snowflakes flying, the crews that are trying to keep up with the snow. Of course, they plow, and then this is that dry, fluffy snow, and it blows back onto the area that just got plowed. That's part of the problem, or it compacts down into a sheet of ice. There's a plowed lane on Interstate 55 from Barnes Jewish Siteman in South County, but that's the exit ramp right there, and it's snowpacked, and I'll tell you, the ramps are horrible. Don't want to be driving on that. It is really slick and slippery. And here's why. We have anywhere from around 3.5, the low end in Kirkwood. I guarantee you that's going up, probably over 4 shortly, but up to 7.5, the highest in Waterloo, Illinois, 7 inches in Centralia. As you go just directly south and east of St. Louis, there's a lot of totals in that 6 to 7 inch range, almost 6 inches in Oakville, by the way. But again, the end of the storm is near. There it is. It's going to move through in the next couple hours, and the snow will end. The cold will not. It will be even colder tonight. I'll break down the wind chills that we're going to face come tomorrow morning coming up.
Steve, thank you. Let's get you outside. Here's a look from Powerhouse Storm Mode Silverado. Our Gary Womack is driving east on Interstate 44 into the St. Louis city limits. Gary, still looks like it's a mess out there tonight.
Well, it sure is, Samantha. I mean, it's just terrible out here. The 18-wheeler decided to get cut across the lane in front of me, and it was like snowblind. I couldn't see anything. So I'm going about 40 miles an hour right now, and I'm approaching 55, which I'm going to get on the south and head down there for a little bit, but it's just gotten really bad, and it's like what Steve said, the entrance and exit ramps are just treacherous. You just literally have to just coast through them and onto them. So that's what I've got for here. Back to you guys.
All right, Gary, be safe out there. Thank you. Also monitoring the roads for us this evening, our Laura Hediger is now tracking several trouble spots. Laura?
And Corey, the biggest one is in the Metro East on 70 eastbound, specifically in Bond County. In fact, the interstate is closed right here near Greenville. So a heads up for our friends in Greenville who need to take 70 to make it over to Vandalia. It is closed. If you can, use those secondary roads to make it up closer to Vandalia. Focusing more on the Metro, just in the last few minutes, we had a slew of crashes pop up, including a few heading into downtown St. Louis, 170 northbound. I watched the crews arrive on this scene of this car that went off the roadway. Again, 170 there near Forest Park Parkway. Also a crash 44 eastbound there near Elm. 64 looks okay right now. This is what it looks like in Lindbergh in the Frontenac area. Sam, I'm so glad, though, that today is a federal holiday. Otherwise, we would have much more volume out there.
A relief for evening traffic that there aren't too many people out on the roads, Laura. Thank you. Powerhouse Storm Mode Silverado captured snow plows earlier this afternoon as the snow started to fall again. Our Jenna Ray is on the road for us right now near Columbia, Illinois. You've been on those snow-packed roads all afternoon. Jenna, how is it out there?
It's pretty bad, not going to lie, what Lauren said about the Metro East getting hit pretty hard. I mean, you can see it firsthand. We are in downtown Columbia, Illinois right now. If you look to the side of either of these roadways, there's several inches of snow on the ground. You're seeing a couple cars in front of us, but these are some of the first cars that we've seen, and we've been in this area for about 40 minutes right now. Again, it's pretty much a ghost town right here on Main Street in downtown Columbia, and I got out of the car just a few minutes ago to see really how much snow was accumulated on the side of the roads and on the sidewalks, and there are, again, several inches covering this, and as Steve said, we're anticipating more snow to hit this Metro East area again. If you don't have to leave your house, please stay home. News 4 is working to maintain coverage in all of these areas and keep you safe so you don't have to leave, and we'll continue to keep you updated throughout this evening's newscast and the rest of our shows this evening, and I'm reporting live right now in Columbia, Illinois. This is Jenna Ray for News 4.
All right, Jenna, thanks for the update. We can tell you both MoDOT and IDOT say the concern right now is that light and fluffy snow blowing back onto the roadway. Both say they are continuing to plow at this hour, and both departments are asking drivers to be aware of changing conditions.
This snow, it's a light and fluffy snow, so it's easy to push around, and it's easy to blow around with these winds at the speeds they are. So that's a concern overnight, especially once this thing does slow down. Even after that, we're going to have problems with the wind blowing it back on the roadways, what we've just taken care of.
Some heating and furnace repair companies say the number of calls they're getting is skyrocketing right now. Some are working around the clock. Ray Preston has been talking with companies and homeowners. He joins us live. Ray?
Well, you know, these HVAC crews, just like the rest of us, have to deal with these road conditions here. We're on a side street in the city of St. Louis, so go ahead and check it out for yourself. Look at how much snow we got piled up here, you know, making it very difficult to get around, if you can get around at all. Now, earlier today, we did speak with a gentleman from Webster Groves who's been having trouble with his furnace. It started on Sunday. He says, you know, originally he's from Minnesota, and he thought, well, he can handle the cold weather.
And so yesterday on Facebook, when this happened, I posted like, oh, we'll be fine because we're not going to be cold. We have the upstairs. And then people are like, your pipes, what about your pipes? And it was just an overconfidence that because I personally could handle it, I thought I just didn't even think about that. So don't be overconfident. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your house.
Now, Lance Finney says his sister-in-law was able to bring over some space heaters, and they set those up to keep the pipes from freezing. Now, we did talk with Dunn 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning earlier today, too. They say a lot of furnaces, you know, just can't keep up with the colder temperatures that we're going through right now. They also run a plumbing company, and they tell us those crews are pretty much going nonstop as well.
If your temperature starts dropping in your house and you don't know how to shut your water off to the house and winterize it, then you can just turn your faucets on drip with a steady stream of water because moving water is not going to freeze. That will help you until somebody can get out there.
So we're told, yes, get out those space heaters if you think your pipes are in danger of freezing. Also open up those cabinet doors under the sink to get that warm air flowing in there as well to help matters. Coming up at 6, we'll tell you something you can do right now to help your furnace so it doesn't get overloaded. Reporting live in South St. Louis, Ray Preston, News 4.
Ray, we'll see in an hour. Private snow removal companies are busy this evening as they battle both snowfall and these bitterly cold temperatures. The weather also had some running to the hardware store this morning. News 4's Caroline Hecker joins us live in St. Charles. Caroline, what are things looking like out there?
Well, Sam, it's still coming down pretty good. As you can see, the wind is just so bitterly cold. That is what's horrible. But I can confirm it is that light, powdery snow, great for things like sledding, like these families are taking advantage of here at Blanchette Park. A lot of sledders out, but I will say a lot of them, 1 or 2 runs, and they're done because it is so cold. But while these people are out here having fun, there are a lot of people out there working very hard to keep us all safe.
Private plow companies have been at it since midnight as they fight heavy snowfall and bitter cold.
Over the last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of winter. It's come at one time. We've had a very quiet winter until recently, and now we're getting hit very hard.
Crews with American Snow and Ice are responsible for clearing parking lots for several major distributors in St. Louis. That means around-the-clock plowing to ensure their customers can get their trucks where they need to be.
Salt still works. It's just slowing down drastically, and it takes more salt to work, and it takes a lot longer to work.
At Jailing Hardware in O'Fallon, foot traffic has been slow as customers heed the warnings to stay home.
With it being President's Day, I'm hoping it's a little bit of both, where they listened to Kent and said, hey, the traffic's going to stink, so maybe stay home. And we've seen a lighter than normal right now, but we still have been moving the shovels and the salt and, unfortunately, plumbing for all the frozen lines.
Ermeling says frozen pipes are a big problem as people try to remedy the issue with heat tape and space heaters.
Try to be on the safe side. We can't caution them enough. Hey, don't overdo it. Plastic pipes melt, and then you're going to have a bigger problem and stuff like that.
The best thing you can do? Open your cabinets and let your faucet drip. And if need be, call a plumber.
Now, when it comes to the pavement, especially tonight, as the sun starts to go down, you are encouraged to take it very slow, even on foot. Just because something looks clear or is semi-clear does not mean it is dry. It can still be very slick, especially, again, with the temperatures going down even more as the sun goes down. We're live in St. Charles tonight. Caroline Hecker, News 4.
Caroline, thank you. At 5, they've waited months to get a vaccine, but now they have to wait even longer.
Yeah, tonight winter weather forced many health departments and hospitals to reschedule vaccine appointments. But one area hospital system says appointments are still on despite the storm.
News 4's Emma Hogue is live from Mercy Hospital in Creve Coeur with the details. Emma.
Sam, yeah, Mercy Hospital is saying if you have an appointment and you don't mind braving this weather, come on out and get your vaccine. But you can understand why a lot of people just aren't too crazy about doing that. The only word I can use to describe what it's like to be out here right now is just downright miserable. The snow's still coming down, and you couple it with that wind, and it is just bone chilling. It hurts to be outside. Not to mention the roads are in horrible shape. We've seen plow trucks come by here several times in the last hour, and it's like they're barely making a dent. We heard Steve talk about how powdery this snow is, and it's just blowing right back on to the roadways. So easy to understand why a lot of other vaccine sites decided to delay appointments.
I was disappointed at first because I wasn't sure if they were going to get me in right away. They just said, hey, because of the weather, we're canceling. And I understood that, with my car and where I live and how much snow we've gotten, I knew it'd be difficult to get there. But if I could, I'd get there any way I can.
Good news for Robert Covington. His appointment in Franklin County was rescheduled to Wednesday, but every hospital and health department is handling this a little differently. SSM canceled all of its appointments today and is extending hours over the next week to get people rescheduled. The St. Louis County Health Department doubled up on appointments this morning and rescheduled all appointments this afternoon and evening to tomorrow afternoon and Wednesday. BJC also canceled all appointments today and is coordinating with patients to reschedule. St. Luke says they scheduled extra appointments this past Saturday anticipating this weather. All appointments there are still on for today. For those who don't want to show up, they're calling other people on their waiting list to fill those spots. Again, Mercy didn't cancel appointments either due to scheduling volume. They said it's too tough to move people around. Instead, they asked people to try coming in a little early or a little later today. If you have an appointment for today at Mercy, they know you may not be on time, but they are open until 6:30. So with a lot of appointments getting shuffled around, I asked the St. Louis County Health Department if this winter weather is setting them back.
Not significantly, because we were able to get some vaccinations done early. We're able to get the rest of them that were scheduled Monday afternoon done on Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be all caught up by Wednesday.
All right, so this is surprising. Mercy says about 80% of people who had appointments today showed up. Right now, they're working with the other 20% to reschedule those appointments. But today, I also talked to one man who had an appointment to get his second dose. That appointment was canceled, so now he's a little worried because his second dose appointment that's rescheduled for next Saturday will not fall under that 21-day window. We asked medical experts what you do about that if the vaccine is still going to be effective. I'll have much more on that coming up tonight on News 4 at 6. But for now, reporting live from a very cold and very snowy Creve Coeur, Emma Hogue, News 4.
Oh, Emma, that